woman dressed in Western wear stood on a ridgetop, staring out across the canyon. In the background, the sun brushed the horizon, staining the sky pink. A lovely woman against a lovely backdrop. But Lauren had seen this particular silent picture twice before. Watch carefully. Check the background this time. She forced herself to look past the woman, if that was the right word for it. Mountains rose against the sky, blue smudges in the distance. Over the woman's shoulder, Lauren noted 4 peaks that aligned themselves like bumps on a dragon's back. That's good. You can remember that. If only she could turn and scan the area. But she couldn't. She saw only what he saw, condemned to watch through his eyes. Then the woman turned. She was even more beautiful than Lauren remembered. Her green eyes radiated a sultry welcome, a complete and total assurance in her own sex appeal that few women projected. Then the woman's lips moved as she mouthed a greeting. "She's not talking to you," Lauren reminded herself. Helpless, Lauren watched gloved hands rise into her line of sight, one on either side, as though they were her own appendages. "No, please," she begged. But it was no use. She longed to close her eyes, flinch away, but she couldn't. The man's hands skimmed up the woman's arms, then closed suddenly over her throat. The sensual welcome on the blonde's face turned to surprise, then panic, then sheer terror. As the woman fought for her life, Lauren fought to distance herself, fought and lost. Stomach revolting, she watched the life squeezed out of the beautiful stranger. Watched it up close and personal, as though the murderer's hands were Lauren's own. Then it was over. As always, the link began deteriorating immediately, but this time Lauren clung to it. She ignored the shutdown signals from her battered mind and held on. "Show me something!" she screamed silently. He did. Drawing a pack of cigarettes from his pocket, he extracted one. Calmly, as though he hadn't just committed murder, he produced a book of matches. Lauren shook, but the killer's work-gloved hands were steady as he lit his cigarette. Steady enough that Lauren had plenty of time to read the logo on the matches. Foothills Guest Ranch. He tossed the matches to the ground and wheeled away. She let go then, exhausted, and started the slow climb back. At periodic intervals, she tested her limbs until at last they obeyed. She let herself out of the bedroom and stumbled to her office, with little Sissy yapping at her feet and Gabe padding calmly along behind her. Anxiety gnawed at her as she flicked on her computer and waited for it to boot and for the wireless modem to connect. Another delay while the search engine loaded. Finally, she plugged in Foothills Guest Ranch and almost sobbed her relief when she struck pay dirt on the first try. Foothills Guest Ranch, Borland, Alberta. The logo was a stylized Mustang over the ranch's name in black, wanted poster lettering. This was it, exactly the same as the one on the book of matches. For the first time since this particular vision had begun 3 weeks ago, she felt a stir of hope. Maybe she could do something this time. Her next thought deflated her. It was just a book of matches. There was no guarantee the murder would happen anywhere near the Foothills Guest Ranch. There was no telling how far those matches might have traveled. Yet the rugged country she'd glimpsed in the background couldn't be anything other than the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, could it? Her meager hope fizzled again as another thought struck her. Though she made the season to be high summer, who was to say it would be this summer? What if the murder wasn't destined to take place for years? What if she were doomed to living this horror for at least another year? She shuddered. It didn't bear thinking about. No, she had to act, and act now. She wouldn't wait around until she read about the crime in the Globe and Mail. Not this time. She chewed her lip. Maybe she should call Hal. Hal, Detective Harold Parks, was a cold case investigator with the Halifax Regional Police. He would listen to her. What's more, he'd believe her. After what had happened with the Di Giacinto girl's cold case, he would always believe her. Too bad for both of them that her visions hadn't been able to help any of the victims escape their fate. She sometimes thought that the grizzled old detective was more tortured by that failure than she was.